So today we are going to Sintra, which is about 40 minutes from Lisbon, and we're about to get on the train. I was not gonna get up that early today, but I got up at 6. We're about to catch the train at 7:11, and we're here at the station because my hostel is actually here at the station. So we're about to hop on the train, 40-minute train ride, and hopefully we can beat some of the early or some of the late crowd for today. All right, so we're currently headed to the palace right now. It's about a 500-meter walk up. I'm tired. A 500-meter walk up from the ticket booth. But you know, it'll be well worth it because I'm getting my exercise in and I get to see the palace. Plus, they have signs that help you. So we got about 185 meters left up all of this. Make sure you come with your walking legs and bring water. All right, we made it, guys. What's so interesting about this castle is just how colorful it is, and just this is what you'll be greeted to when you're tired, and well, only if you're out of shape like me. This is what you'll be greeted to, so let's go on into the castle. All right, so once you make it up here, there's actually a cafeteria on the second floor. On the first floor, there's a restaurant along with the restroom. Right when you're about to enter the castle right here. All right, so I finally made it here to Sintra. I made it up to the castle, and we're gonna talk about some quick tips that will help you avoid the crowd, the tourist crowd during the summer and all of that, right? So I took the train from Lisbon here to Sintra. It took me about 40 minutes. I took the 7 a.m. train, and I got to Sintra here at 8 in the morning. Now, do not take the bus if you're trying to beat the crowd, because at least when I got here, the bus was not gonna get to the train station stop until 9 in the morning. This place opens at 9 in the morning. It's about a 15-minute, 20-minute drive up the hill to this castle, and I'd recommend taking a taxi instead. The taxi was only 10 euros, and with doing that, you can get in line. I'd recommend making sure you're here at 8:30 in the morning. Once you do that, you can buy your tickets from an automated machine, and you'll be good to go. Now, before we head into the interior of the castle, just look at these breathtaking views. Like, wow. This is definitely out of a fairy tale, and I know when they were building this in the 1800s, because this castle's not that old, y'all. It's not that old. Well, I know that this was breathtaking, breathtaking. Quick crash course on the history of this palace. So it actually used to be a monastery that used to sit up here, but due to a lightning storm and then due to the earthquake that destroyed most of Lisbon in the 1700s, this place was destroyed. And King Ferdinand II really took a liking to the views. Just look at the views. How can you not take a liking to those views? But yeah, to the views and just how beautiful it was sitting here on the Riviera and then looking out at the ocean, and actually commissioned for this place to be built in the 1800s. It was completed, I want to say, before 1850, and really took a liking to the colors, Roman architecture, and it also throwing in some Islam architecture. And that will conclude our little brief history of the place. Oh, real quick, I gotta show you guys this. So, if you guys look to my right, we are going there next. The Moors fortress that they built here in the 7th and 8th century. Still, I can't get over how beautiful this castle is. And just the views are like the views are still amazing. I'm telling you guys, you have to come. You have to come before they open. There's still like no one here. And there's that crowd I was talking about. You know what these little towers remind me of? Whenever I was in San Juan a few weeks ago, they remind me of these century towers. Definitely. All right, once you leave Pena Palace, if you start going back to the road, a left when you exit, we can actually head to Castelo dos Mouros. So that's where we're gonna head right now. It's about a 10-minute walk. I probably said that wrong, but it's a 10-minute walk, so let's go. All right, so this was the fortress that was built during the 7th century by the Moors. During that little, well, not really little, but during that time whenever the Moors invaded the Iberian Peninsula, just like Spain, because Iberian Peninsula, and they built this fort looking over Sintra. I'll just look at that. perfect view to see the ocean. Not too close, not too far. But yeah, if you're coming here to see this fortress, just know you're only pretty much just gonna see the walls, because it is pretty barren and got destroyed also during the earthquake of Lisbon. But I think it's worth coming to see this fortress and walking up just purposely because of, just look at this view. Amazing, amazing, amazing view. Now if you're scared of heights again, yeah, there's definitely some heights. Like, that's where we're gonna go up to get a better angle. The question is, should you come to this fortress? And the answer I would give is yes. This fortress was built in the 7th century, and how many times can you say you walked up a 7th century fortress? I know I've said this already in the video, but I can't make this up. Whenever you come to Sintra and you plan on seeing Pena Palace up the head, make sure you see that palace first, and then you come back down the hill and you come see this fortress. Because what the thing about this fortress is, not that many people are here right now, but everyone wants to get their Instagram photo with all the colorful buildings and everything up ahead. So go see the palace first at 0830, 30 minutes before they open, and then come climb some steps. If you're definitely leaving, whenever you're leaving the actual fortress, I recommend driving in one of those. Riding in one of those, actually not driving, riding in one of those for 20 euros. You get to see a lot of different things coming up, and you just can feel the breeze and everything on your head. That's what I meant, riding in one of those. All right, so I'm here at this palace right now, but before we go see the palace, I had to stop and get some snacks, some snacky snacks. So I got some juice, some water, of course, and then I don't know how to pronounce it, but a travesseiros, I'm not sure how to say it, but a traditional Sintra Portuguese a traditional Sintra Portuguese pastry filled with almond rich cream that fills the crisp rectangular shape of it. Apparently it gives you like a silky taste. And then of course I had to be basic and get some croissant. I get a croissant with ham and cheese on it. So we're gonna try this pastry, and I feel like every time you go somewhere, like I said, in Puerto Rico, you should try something from that area, that state, that city, that country. So we're gonna try this this almond pastry. I'm sorry, I keep licking my fingers because the sugar on top is so good. It's not bad. 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10. All right, so whenever you're walking around and you're headed to the actual palace, you're going to be walking through something like this. This was part of the garden leading up to the palace. There's nice benches and everything, and you gotta love the benches that have all this nature just growing on it. Like, this is thick, I can't even scrape it off. You gotta love how authentic it is and how it's just left untouched. I'm telling you guys, when we make it to the palace, you're gonna love the palace. All right, let's go to the palace. Okay, after the palace, this is number 2 on places you should visit when you're here in Sintra. Like, we're gonna do this again, but look up at the ceiling. Like, oh my God, that's wild. Like the detail with the faces too, and the sculptures, it's crazy. Something about, like, they love making you look up when you're in Europe. They love making you look up. To think this was the music room for a palace, like, that's crazy. It's crazy. So to think even in his hallways, he had a place for sculptures, like what? That's crazy. And of course there's some missing now, but just looking at this hallway, it's just so much is going on. And then I don't think I've ever seen this much detail in a building of any sort. It's not even a palace. But look at this wall, the detail, like just someone really was taking their time when they were building, ooh, even the natural light coming in, like they were taking their time when they were building this palace. Oh my God, and then this door, look at this door. All right, so now we made it to the kitchen. This is definitely giving off strong energy of like those old movies you see from the 1900s. Like, just look at this kitchen. The huge, huge island right there. The huge, huge long table over there. And of course you have to have a fireplace back in the day, of course. And the kitchen's in the basement, huh? When I first walked up to this palace, I was like, wow, like people really lived like this. And to think, whenever I was walking inside of the palace, I was reading the little history things on the wall. And during World War II, this place was used as a staging ground for foreign journalists, musicians, and just anyone fleeing the Nazi regime. And there's not just a palace out here. There's also a lovely, huge garden that you can walk around, and also a cafeteria if you want to get some Portuguese pastries. And then just stepping into the palace really takes you back to the time of when Portuguese families, rich Portuguese families, would come here during the summer months to get out of Lisbon, to get out of Porto, and the royal family. With that being said, like, hopefully one day I can live like this. One can only hope and dream that I can, you know, buy something like this one day. So we're about to head back to the train station. It's about a 40-minute train ride back to Lisbon. The good thing is though, my hostel is actually in the train station. And you know, it's very important, I feel, when you're traveling, making content, whatever kind of content you make, that you realize you need to take a break. You need to stop. You can't just be all gas and no brakes. I know some people have work Monday through Friday. You have to remember too that you have to take time. Go to the beach, put your camera up, put your phone up, log off TikTok. I'm gonna stop talking now.